Ustanak is one of the most persistent enemies that you'll have run-ins with during the events of the game Resident Evil 6. Encountered by Jake Muller and Sherry Birkin several times all around the globe, Ustanak has been tasked with capturing Jake in order to enhance the abilities of the C-Virus. Ustanak is the true pinnacle of the Juavo, superior in nearly every way, from his incredible strength to his nearly indestructible body. Ustanak is a true force to be reckoned with. The story of Ustanak as we know it begins with a man who was desperate for a change. We are never given his name, but this unnamed man yearned for true power. Born into a frail and crude body, the man who would become Ustanak was desperate to attain some form of physical power, and was willing to lose everything to get it. This desire for power drew him to the newly formed organization of Neo Umbrella and to a woman named Carla Radamez. The man was excited by the idea of the C-Virus, and volunteered as a test subject for Carla's experiments. And even with the knowledge that he may lose his humanity in the process, the man saw this as an acceptable loss to become the powerful weapon that he always wanted to be. The man was administered the C-Virus on June 22, 2011, after it was deemed that his body was highly compatible with the virus, and thus Ustanak was born. In the days following his injection with the virus, Ustanak was heavily monitored by researchers with Neo Umbrella. These researchers noted that Ustanak's raw strength and intelligence far surpassed other Juavo, but that coupled with those benefits were also some negatives. Ustanak lost his right arm in an accident in the laboratory, but unlike others who had been infected with the C-Virus, this arm failed to regenerate. An obvious defect with this experiment, but not one that couldn't be course-corrected. In lieu of his right arm, Ustanak was outfitted with an arsenal of attachable appendages that would more than make up for his disability. Things such as a shotgun arm as well as a drill were created to help the beast with close combat. But by far his most useful and versatile appendage was a metal claw, which was created to help the creature capture his targets, and was suggested by the leader of Neo Umbrella, Carla Radamez. Ustanak's relationship with Carla Radamez borders on worship. He is enthralled with the woman who gave him the strength that he'd been seeking his entire life, even going so far as to call her a goddess, and saying that he would do anything for her. Carla, on the other hand, treats Ustanak almost like her child, with researchers commenting on just how kind their leader was to this hulking BOW. Carla's last order to the creature was to hunt down and capture Jake Muller, a man whose blood could be invaluable for her research into the C-Virus. Ustanak hunted down Jake Muller and his partner Sherry Birkin all throughout Edonia, before eventually managing to capture them and bring them back to Carla. Carla was able to make use of Jake's blood and create a superior strain of the C-Virus, an enhanced version which she would use to take revenge on Derek C. Simmons. As for Ustanak, Jake remained his target, and a few months later, when Jake and Sherry escaped their confinements, Ustanak picked up on the hunt from where he left off. Tracking the duo down again, Ustanak got unlucky to see the pair team up with another capable partnership of Leon S. Kennedy and Helena Harper. Together, the foursome proved too powerful for the BOW, and he was defeated. However, though they would be spared for the moment, Jake and Sherry would be captured soon enough, this time by an overwhelming number of Juavo and taken to an underwater Neo Umbrella facility. Ustanak followed the pair to the underwater facility, presumably to ensure that this time they didn't escape. but not before stopping back to meet with the Neo-Umbrella researchers who had created his arm attachments. Unfortunately, by this point, Ustanak's goddess was no more, killed at the hands of the woman whom she had been impersonating, and the Neo-Umbrella researchers knew it. They didn't inform Ustanak, but one of the researchers noted that he seemed filled with intense sadness and anger, perhaps suggesting that, on some level, he knew that the woman he loved was gone. And so, whether knowing or not knowing that the woman he owed his dreams to had perished, Ustanak followed Jake and Sherry to the underwater facility, trying to make good on the last orders that she'd given him, and ultimately meeting her same fate in his pursuit.
Good riddance.